Hello from Pete Matthews Coliseum here on the campus of Jacksonville State University, where today the Class 5A boys and girls Northeast Region semifinals got underway. A win today would mean a spot in the AHSAA Elite Eight. Let's begin the action in the Class 5A boys region semifinal. It was an all-North Alabama showdown for this one as the Guntersville Wildcats were taking on a 28-2 Sardis Lions team. And what a game this one turned out to be. Sardis went back and forth early. Check out Luke Martin fighting through contact for the bucket and the foul for two of his game-high 29 points today. But in the second half, the Wildcats would start to take over. Slashing to the rim is Oakley Howell for the tough basket to take a lead for Guntersville. And then it's Howell again, this time through contact, the layup, and the foul. A big fourth quarter was the difference in this one. Guntersville advances to the Class 5A Northeast Region Finals with a 69-63 win over Sardis. So who will they play? The winner of this next one. It was Leeds and Scottsboro squaring off in the other 5A semi, and this game was a nose-buster. After Leeds stuck around with Scottsboro in the first half, they would begin to pull away in the second. Outside for Kyle Wright, he connects on the three ball for the Wildcats, and then this was the one that lifted the roof. It's Jamison Gray with the offensive board and the two-hand jam. As Scottsboro advances with a win over Leeds, they'll take on Guntersville in an all-Area 14 region championship next Wednesday at 10:45. Meanwhile, in the girls' Class 5A Northeast Region semifinal, the Scottsboro Wildcat women were hoping to advance to an Elite Eight with a win over Springville, and this one was a battle. The Tigers of Springville would jump out to an early lead in this game after Scottsboro struggled to shoot the ball. This three from Caroline Dawson, one of just two first-half threes. In the second half, though, those threes started to fall. Bree Sexton from the corner, you bet. And then it's Tatum Shelton getting a corner three of her own to fall as Scottsboro would build a double-digit lead. And despite the Tigers fighting back, a 24-point fourth quarter is the difference in this one as Scottsboro advances to the 5A Girls Northeast Region Final with a 54-38 win. They'll now take on Southside Wednesday at 9 a.m. Well, that's going to wrap up our coverage of the Northeast Region semifinals. For everything Northwest, we'll send things to Max Cohan.
We've got a full slate at Wallace State. Today here in Hanceville, 8 regional games are being played, with North Alabama teams trying to punch their ticket to the regional final in each and every contest. Up first, the 6A regional semi between Hartzell and Muscle Shoals. The Tigers held the lead late, but the Trojans fought their way back into it, never giving up when the ball was near the net. Tamora Brown picks it up and puts it down as Muscle Shoals cuts the deficit to 8 points, but Hartzell's Gracie Hill was hard to contain, finding her stroke from behind the arc as the three ball gives the Tigers an 11-point advantage. But the Trojans never gave up, tying the game several times in the fourth quarter. Hartzell's Anna Burrows only had 2 points but made them count, sinking the bucket that would serve as the game winner as the Tigers claw their way to the regional final for the first time since 2021 with a 50-46 dub. Over to 6A boys, where Muscle Shoals was looking to make it to the regional final for the first time since 2019, but they'd have to get through Coleman first. In a tight one early, the Trojans are running and Luke Sasser is all alone in the corner. Number 3 gets the triple to fall as the Trojans lead 15-10. Coleman was never far behind though. Kick out to Case Nixon and he'll send that one around the world and in as the long distance shot makes it a 3-point affair. Muscle Shoals led by 2 at the break, but Coleman would take the lead in the third, and then this one would get crazy late. Tied at 35, Brody Bannister drains one from distance to give the Cats a 3-point lead with just over a minute to play. With just seconds left on the clock, the Trojans had one last chance, and Cedric Summerhill didn't waste it, nailing the tying 3 at the buzzer, sending the game to overtime and putting Trojan fans in a frenzy. But when they needed it most, Coleman got the big shots to fall, putting this one away with Nixon's nail in the coffin as they take down the Trojans 56-51. In Alabama, no basketball team is on a run quite like the Hazel Green Trojans. Tim Miller's squad looking to stay on the path to their 7th straight title with a win over Clay Chalkville. But with this team, everyone knows how dangerous Leah Brooks can be. The Crimson Tide commit had 10 points at the half and finished with 19 as the Trojans cruise to the Elite Eight with a 57-29 dub. They'll play Hartzell for the region title on Tuesday morning. And wrapping up our early slate, it's the reigning 6A champs from Buckhorn trying to stay on the road to the Magic City with a win over Clay Chalkville. But the Cougars came out swinging. Devin McKinnon in the corner, and the 3 falls as Clay Chalkville takes an early lead. They stay on the attack. In the lane, Kevin Kirk with the bucket and the bonus, and last year's champs are in a hole. The Bucks would see some movement as Jeremiah Wilson pulls up to make it a one-score game, and then Joshua Wilkerson cuts the deficit to a single point with the board and the bucket, but the Cougs would pull away at the end of the quarter, going up 9 as McKinnon nails the three at the horn. Bucks star Caleb Holt was held to 5 first-half points. He'd finished with 21, but the Bucks trailed by 12 at the break. They led by 2 after the third quarter and 10 at the final buzzer as they pull off the comeback, setting up a meeting with Coleman with the 61-51 dub.